insight, more understanding. This is Fox 23 News in Depth with Rick Marino.
We are following breaking news out of the state capitol tonight. Speaker of the House Kyle Hilbert says his office believes nudity was in fact shown on State Superintendent Ryan Walters' office TV last month, but it is complicated, and he says no one appears to be directly at fault. Those are the words of the speaker tonight. Hilbert said in a long, detailed statement that he believes the TV was turned on and left on, and it did not default to the last channel watched. Instead, when it turns on, it defaults to an action TV movie channel that was uncensored and has content on it that is uncensored at times. Hilbert's office says while the TV was on, it played 2 movies around the time of executive session. The Protector, made in 1985, followed by The Foreigner, made in 2017. One scene in The Protector is very, very close to what board members say they saw. Here is part of the speaker's statement tonight. We'll read a lot of it. In my opinion, the most plausible explanation for what occurred that day is that the television, which had only been in the superintendent's office for fewer than 2 months, automatically launched Samsung's free streaming service and began playing a film that contained explicit content without anyone in the room realizing it at the time. This information seems to vindicate both the state superintendent as well as the 2 board members. It is not credible to believe that the superintendent or any member of his staff intentionally played an inappropriate film in the middle of an active board meeting. Additionally, it does not appear that Samsung's internal movie channel lists streamable content days in advance, so a planned conspiracy would be highly unlikely. Instead, the available evidence points to a bizarre incident involving a newly installed television defaulting to a pre-programmed channel. I have talked to Superintendent Walters, OMES, and all law enforcement agencies currently involved in the investigation, and I appreciate the diligence and cooperation of all parties involved to get to the bottom of this incident. It was an unfortunate and embarrassing situation, but thanks to the swift response and commitment to transparency, I believe we now have the answers. As I reported last week, my family and I have the same Samsung TV in question in our home, and when we turned it on, it does not go to the last channel or app watched either. This is a documented problem on Reddit and other websites from Samsung users for years. As shown in the photo from the forensic audit and now confirmed by the speaker, the superintendent's TV automatically goes to Samsung TV Plus's Action Movie Hub. On mine, our family TV defaults to the 24/7 Supermarket Sweep channel, as I reported last week. There are dozens of free channels Samsung TV preloads into its TVs, and as long as it is connected to the internet, and as we reported, some of these channels are rated 14 plus and 18 plus, they will play. And Samsung says those channels can have foul language and nudity, but there is no explicit, only nudity channel airing full-time 24/7 either. So let's take a look at what was on the TV. And obviously we are going to censor it. We're not going to flash it up on the screen and surprise you like what apparently has happened, but the movie in question is easily viewable and findable online. It's even free if you don't mind ads. The only bare skin you're going to see are from dudes. Bare chest, which you can see at any water park or lake this summer. Take a look. This is exactly what the board members saw, according to Speaker of the House Kyle Hilbert. The board members described seeing fully nude women working on some kind of chiropractic table. In this movie, it is The Protector, made in 1985, starring Jackie Chan and Danny Aiello. Hilbert says Samsung told him there were some explicit scenes in the movie. And here is the one that aligns with the board members that they have explained played before them. The movie is rated R, not just for the nudity, but also for violence. Hilbert says the movie confirms what the board members saw was accurate. So we have to ask tonight, if this was an honest mistake and nudity was in fact on the TV, why did Walters blame everyone from Governor Stitt to teachers to us in the media to the board for what happened? Why couldn't he just wait for the investigation to play out like it now has? Here is Walters last week saying this entire thing was a coordinated conspiracy and people were out to get him.
I cannot begin to describe the disgusting nature of the lies leveled against me by board members, by the media, and by the teachers union. This has been a coordinated attack to crucify my character and to try to stop the will of Oklahomans and their vision for education. These board members have a lot to answer for, and so does the governor of the state of Oklahoma. Did he direct these board members to lie about me? Did he direct his board members to go in and disrupt everything in these board meetings?
So now we have to ask, where is the apology to Governor Kevin Stitt and those board members and even the teachers who were accused of some vast conspiracy that the Speaker of the House now says was an unfortunate mishap that put nudity on the screen in Walters' office? Where is the apology to the media like us here at Fox 23 and across the state who were falsely blamed for making up claims of nudity when the Speaker says there was in fact nudity on that screen? We are still waiting to get official confirmation that the investigation is over from the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office and the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. But if the Speaker's words hold and law enforcement goes along with these very findings, then we can now report 1 week later the superintendent, as he now said then, has now been cleared. We are still waiting for that confirmation. We also have to ask, if this was a teacher in a public school classroom, would that teacher still have their teaching certificate? Would that teacher be allowed to return to work tomorrow knowing what we know now? Something the superintendent has been adamant on holding the line on when it comes to zero tolerance for, quote, porn in schools.